Ravi, Cabot, Conyers, and Ryan Kiera Armstrong star in Star Wars Skeleton Crew, now streaming on Disney+. Thank you both so much for your time today.
Hi, Ravi.
Of course, hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, both of you as well, too. Ryan, let's go ahead and start with you. Whether it was at the premiere or watching with your family, a lot of special effects go into these episodes. I mean, talk a little bit about filming versus kind of getting to see what the final episode looks like.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the sets were practical and the creatures were real. So a lot of it I felt like we saw in real time.
Yeah.
But definitely seeing it all come together, at the premiere and seeing the first episode, I couldn't stop crying the first episode. I couldn't keep it in. It was complete, and it was just so beautiful, and yeah, it was really cool, but definitely saw a lot of it on the day as well.
That is amazing. Ravi, I want to talk a little bit about being part of the Star Wars universe. I know your dad is a huge fan. Generations have grown up with this universe, almost 50 years, worth of generations of fans. I mean, what's it like that, for your family and just getting to be a part of Star Wars?
Yeah, my dad has been a huge fan for as long as he can remember, as long as I can remember. He introduced me to the universe when I was about 5. I watched A New Hope with him and my sister, and he really got me into it, and I'm really glad for that. And what specifically stood out to me was Luke Skywalker. I love Mark Hamill's performance. It's so iconic and intentional and fun. And so yeah, that definitely drew me in. And looking back now, since this was a little more than 2 years ago when we started, I'm seeing so many similarities between Wim and Luke. So playing a little bit of Luke, Mark Hamill's iconic performance, into Wim was a lot of fun, and yeah, carrying on this legacy that George Lucas built is.
Yeah, that's what I chat about too, especially the characters, because especially through the play, and we get to see leadership, friendship, power, adventure, imagination. All these things go into that. Let's go ahead and then talk a little bit about Fern and kind of the journey that we get to see her, especially in the first couple episodes of the series.
Yeah, Fern is growing up, and all of the kids are growing up in an environment where there's really high expectations, and it's hard to cope, and sometimes the pressure just builds up, and I think that they're all just really desperate for an adventure, and especially for Fern, they're kind of on this planet, and it's pretty straightforward, and it's by the books, and she's just desperate for something new and a change. Yeah. And that's when they get launched in space.
You get lost in space. Let's talk a little bit about Wim, because he has, an interesting family dynamic, but I think a lot of kids and a lot of families, can relate to him.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like there's so many things to relate to from each character, and that's what's so fun. It's so relatable, and the show is led through the eyes of children, so there's a lot of fun things to find. But yeah, Wim was a joy to play. I loved playing some aspects of me into Wim, because the directors did give us a lot of freedom to play around, and I do love Wim's dynamic with his dad, Wendell. I think Wendell's parenting style is very very protective, very straightforward, and Wim wants to escape and just find some way to go off-world. But of course, launching himself into space was not the way he intended. He thought that it was a Jedi temple originally, but it was definitely not. And Wendell is very worried now, because Wim, who knows where they are now. And yeah, it's just crazy. The dynamics are so fun. That's also what I love about Skeleton Crew. All the dynamics are so fun. There's so many different ones. I specifically love Wim and Wendell and Fern and Farah. They're a lot of fun.
They're a lot of fun. I mean, I want to talk a little bit too about maybe some of the fan reaction, or maybe some of your own research, because obviously there's a lot of movies, a lot of projects, a lot of books, a lot in the Star Wars universe, and a lot of people are trying to connect all the pieces. I mean, Ryan, let's talk a little bit about that, because I'm sure people come up to you and are trying to figure out, where this fits into everything else, and, kind of learning maybe a little bit more about this Star Wars universe.
Learning a little bit. Well, I guess, fun facts. I mean, you guys probably know this, New Republic era. I don't know how much I can say that you guys don't already know. But yeah, this, I guess, is an exciting new on-ramp and adventure into the Star Wars galaxy. It's kind of a new perspective of Star Wars that's kind of through the eyes of kids, and it has little moments of Goonies and E.T. and kind of all our favorite classic movies all kind of built into this special series.
Yeah, and there's so many fun homages, and the director the director John Watts and co-writer Chris Ford. John is also a director, but the two writers implemented a lot of aspects of their childhood
Yeah.
into Skeleton Crew, and so many things from, you know, so many things that 80s kids can find, like little hidden, like little Easter eggs that are fun. So many homages and references to the Amblin style.
That's what makes it so special. It's like this is kind of like all their childhood movies. Put
Yeah,
together.
exactly. Yeah.
All the movies put together. Let's talk a little, briefly about Neil, because that's one of the characters, you know, not just the human characters, but but Neil is one of the people that people are watching out for. Talk a little bit about that character.
Neil.
Neil.
He's so cool. Especially so like the face, like the head of Neil is real.
It is.
And it's controlled by like a remote. And it's, well, I guess, yeah, it's kind of like a controller. It almost looks like a joysticks or something.
It does.
You
It
know?
looks like a drone, like a drone controller kind of.
Exactly.
It's like a big like keypad, and then there's like the little joysticks on it.
It was so cool. It was so cool to like work with, and like his head would like actually react. And he's just such a cool character, and he's so lovable. He's such like the heart of the group.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to keep watching. Ravi and Ryan, thank you so much for your time today. Star Wars Skeletons Crew, new episodes Tuesdays on Disney+.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.